Hi, I'm AliceR.
And I'm JessicaL. For our Zenith project, we decided to make a comic together. We'd already collaborated together to build a world for our world building project. We had intended to turn that project into a comic from the beginning, which is why we chose to attempt making the first chapter of it and have that be our Zenith project.
An additional motivation for me in particular was the fact that I actually attempted to make a comic last year during the Explorations project. It did not end well for a number of reasons, so I decided that this year I wanted to prove to myself that I could do better. And I did do better, just not by much.
We started in two different ways. While Alice worked on the storyboard, I began to design the architecture and make some of the settings of our world in the 3D program Maya. This way, when made into a comic, Alice wouldn't have to worry about perspective or drawing scenes from different angles. She could just trace screenshots of my models instead. I started by making a model of the first location that appears in our comic, the village of Providence. It's a village in the mountain that our protagonist, Erin O'Dara, is from. The comic begins with us being shown the village being burnt to the ground. So that's what I started with her.
As Jessica was making the models, I worked on the name, which essentially just means rough draft. Jessica and I had already talked about what exactly needed to occur in the chapter story-wise, so now my job was to put that story on paper in a way that's visually appealing to the audience. I had to think about how I wanted to lay the panels out, where the text bubble should go, and what I needed to do in order to make sure everything flowed well. And I think I did a pretty good job, even if I do say so myself. The real issue came to actually finishing the comic, because I absolutely failed at that. There are so many little details in each individual panel, and drawing all of those details, it took way longer than I actually initially expected it to. So that was part of the delay in making the pages. And then another thing was that I had a bunch of other projects happening at the time. So if this one had been the only one on my radar, I think that I might have been able to get more done. But ultimately, I did only manage to finish one page. Ignore the mistake in Japanese here. And I got partway through making the second and third page. Yeah.
Despite the fact that we were unable to finish the chapter, which is supposed to be 40 pages before the time limit for the Zenith project, we still plan on continuing to work on the story and comic in the future.
Thank you so much.